Ever since I was a child, oblivious to my true nature, I loved my Legos. They were the only friends I ever had. Every time I would bring my Lego men to school and play with the other kids, they'd laugh and mock me. One day, I brought my freshly built Lego Millennium Falcon serial number 75192 with 7,541 pieces to show and tell. Proudly showing it off, I knew I was the envy of all the other children. Even my third grade teacher, Miss Appleberg, gazed at me with eyes like piercing daggers. However, I didn't know the true extent of their hatred. When it came time for recess, I took Lego Han Solo and the rest of the Lego Millennium Falcon crew and flew it all around the playground. My bliss only lasted for a few minutes though, and I quickly stumbled to the ground, a volleyball striking me dead in my face. The other children picked up my beloved Lego set that now lay on the ground, and with smiles that would have even made Lego Vampire from serial number 10228 Haunted House whimper in terror. I saw Miss Appleberg from the corner of my eye. I turned to plead to her, beg for her to stop them from ruining my most beloved possession. However, the scowl on her face betrayed her true intentions as she turned away, leaving me on the ground, witnessing their execution. It's all a blur to me now. Perhaps the trauma was too much for me, and I subconsciously tried to wipe the scene from my memories. But something like that never truly leaves a person. I watched as the build was shattered into their individual pieces. I saw Chewie fly out from the now disassembled cockpit and land in a pile of Keith's shit. Who fucking wrote this? I saw Chewie fly out from the now disassembled cockpit and land in a pile of Keith's shit. I watched as the children stomped on the already broken mess. I watched as C-3PO's head flew off, landing in a pile of dog shit. As they left, spitting on my defeated body, one last swell of hope rose up in me. It wasn't over. Why was I afraid? What did I lose? It was Lego. How it was now, in its own individual pieces, was not too different from how it was when I began building it. It was basically brand new. Besides the dirt. And the geese shit. Not only that, I now have an excuse to build it again. The Lego Millennium Falcon, serial number 75192 with 7,541 pieces. How many people have that privilege? I can again feel the excitement and joy that I did when first completing it. Rebuilding it, making it better. A slight smile formed at the corner of my lips, not of defiance or loss or sadness, but of hope. I rose up, a new man, ready for the new world, until Miss Appleberg ran in with the sledgehammer, madly swinging it at the Lego on the ground. Her primordial screams still haunt me on the loneliest of nights. She left after finishing her work, but not before spitting on the ground beneath my feet. It was over. For real this time. I crumpled on my knees. I fell into a fetal position on the ground. I'm sorry. I whispered over and over again, crying, sobbing. But then Han Solo's Lego head rolled over to me, his face still smiling.
Hey kid, what you sorry for?
He spoke. I stared at it, dumbfounded. Lego can talk? I grabbed all the Lego I could still salvage and stuffed them into my pockets. As I went about the rest of my day, the children snickered at me, but I didn't care. As I got home, I pulled all my Lego out. I spoke to them. I said hi, told them how I felt, but there was no response. Of course not, right? I felt like a fool, getting so worked up about talking Lego. Until they spoke back. It was all in a rush. All my different minifigures talking to me, consoling me. I cried, whether it was from bliss, sadness, some other other inexplicable feeling. I finally had friends.
Hey kid, you done crying?
Bro, what the fuck? Han Solo gave me a signature smirk. I could only smile back at him. A few weeks after I had awakened to my power, my parents sent me to therapy. The therapist man was scary, and I refused to tell him my friends. After my parents saw how the sessions weren't working, they got angry. They threw my Legos away. I'll spare you the details. Just thinking about it chokes me up. My friends, family, all murdered by those who were supposed to protect me. However, I hadn't lost everything. As the night grew dark, I took him out of my pocket.
Hey kid, rough times, huh?
I had managed to protect one person, Han Solo, the one most precious to me. In the coming days, he was the only one I talked to, the only one I cared about, the only one that cared about me. Every day, I would take a Lego Han Solo with me to school. I was being kicked around and thrown into the mud by my classmates. Lego Han Solo would always give me encouraging words. He was the only reason I kept going. It's the only reason I kept attending school. He was the one that gave me the strength to keep going. When I get home, the piercing gaze of my parents would drive me to my room. There, I would play with Lego Han Solo in secret until it was time for bed. We'd take baths together, brush our teeth together, go to sleep together. After a few months, we'd gotten really comfortable being by each other's side. We were closer than friends, closer than brothers. Lego Han Solo, what's this feeling within me? He didn't respond. So he lay in bed, the night still young. A heat rose within me. I quickly dropped my pants, exposed my virgin willy to Lego Han Solo. Without any words being exchanged between us, I pushed him against my tender foreskin and made love to the smooth ABS plastic that I had fallen in love with. It didn't take long before I ejaculated my first load all over Lego Han Solo, the creamy liquid covering his entire figure. I turned to my now open door, a light from the hallway bleeding into the room, illuminating my soaked bed sheets, the look on my mother's face. I will not elaborate on what happened that night. That night, I screamed. It was the first time in my life that I had screamed so loudly, so viscerally. Tears rolled down my face as I sat there on my knees, holding the mangled plastic corpse of Lego Han Solo in my hands. Even as I was whipped and beat, I would not let go of what was left of him. I smelled my now dried up semen on his body as I wept, his face upon mine, or what was left of it. My tears flowed onto his soiled corpse, reigniting the burning passion for him that I held within me, even as he lay there, destroyed. I'm sorry. The next morning, I buried him at the school playground so that he could lay rest with his beloved ship and the rest of his crew. My one regret is that my vision was too blurred from the tears that flooded my eyes that I could not take one last look at my first love. Perhaps, though, it was for the best. If I had seen Lego Han Solo then, maybe my memories of him would be clouded with the sight of his defiled corpse. He taught me that the good memories of a person's life is what drives them. That even if their present is muddied with despair, even if there's no light shining brightly in their future, that they can look back at those good memories, the cherished past, and push on. Lego Han Solo. Every time I have faced a hurdle in my life, stuck in a pit of my own wallowing self-pity. I remember his face. I remember the time we spent together, his embrace, his words, and I keep going. I kept moving. Since then, I've accepted the fact that nobody will accept me in this world. I've accepted that I will be ridiculed, laughed at, spit on for my love. I've accepted that the love I hold cannot be given to just one Lego minifigure. That if I cherished all Legos as much as I cherished Lego Han Solo, that if my love was given equally to all the Legos in my possession, no, the world, that we would have better lives. That we would not need the acceptance of the average person, the normal person. Every night, me and my Legos have passionate sex on my bed. Crowds of minifigures watch as the Lego dildo I built out of the parts from set number 10305 Lion's Night Castle with 4,514 pieces and 22 minifigures. And even that dildo I love. It speaks to me. The pieces speak to me as they ram deep inside my intestine, their sharp edges hitting the most pleasurable parts of my insides. I can hear the crowds of Legos watching moan and cheer as they watch the person who loves them most get off to their beauty. Even the floors, made out of the green Lego base plates number 10700, who are conveniently foot fetishists, hear my cries, soaking in the wet juices I spill onto them as I private squirt all over the room. Why do I describe this to you? Why am I here, speaking of my experiences? Do I want you to pity me? Do I want you to accept me? The truth is, I don't care. I speak not to you, the you who laughs at me, snickers at my Lego clothes whenever I go outside, yells at me for the degeneracy you consider me to participate in. I care not for you. I speak to the legosexuals out there in the world who are afraid that they are alone, afraid that they are the ones who are strange or perverted. I want them to know they are not alone. Their experiences are not singular. Even if they do not accept themselves, I will accept them. Legos will accept them. To those legosexuals out there, hear my pleas. Accept yourself. Accept your love. Accept their love. I am a happier man knowing my love. I want you to feel the same. I want a world where legosexuals are not looked down upon. I want a world where legosexuals can be themselves openly, without fear of bigotry or hatred thrown at them, without mockery present at every corner in their life. I want a world where Legos are seen as man, and all man is equal. This is why I speak. This is who I speak for. Listen to my words and heed my calls. I am legosexual.